Nobody. Yeah. That was it. That was it. That was it.
Good money, yo.
Good shit.
They're doing this thing, yo.
Oh shit! Can you do after that? Huh? Exactly.
That shit is
serious.
hard money right there.
You know you only get 10 after that?
Yeah.
You know next week one's 15, 20.
Good? Nah, press. Go ahead, press. That's good money. It's perfect. You don't even know how to perfect. Like that.
Nice,
like
nice.
that shit. Let's go. Time.
Shit. Who next? Yeah. It's already recorded. No matter.
Yo, grab this. Grab this. I'm recording. Right. Grab, yeah, you grab it. I'm recording. Fix that. It's lined up. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, right? Yes.
Make a full love on the top, perky on the top. She do them wolf flash, make her one of us. To get some smoke, it's my nigga slow.
Press. Let's go. Perfect. Good. Push.
Get this. I love this. Yeah, getting that work in. Getting that money in the park. I love the park, man. I love the gym, man. You know, in the summertime, I fall off because I got so much things to do. A little vacation here, the family, do this, do that. And then it gets humid and hot. And sometimes when I step outside, I just don't feel it, right? I don't like that humidity. I love heat, but humidity, it just irritates me. It puts my mind. But then when fall comes and winter, I get back into it. So I'm feeling good. Just pressing and with the fellas and just getting that working and getting that money, right? Yeah, but what are we talking about? We're talking about copyright strike. Copyright strike. What do I mean by that? Well, Manny Pacquiao left some things for UGAS, CRAWFORD, and Bud Crawford. He left some standards that I feel that these brothers can't copy, right? Old school paying tuition, feel like Muhammad Ali against Sonny Liston, triumphant, yeah. He left some old school trailblazing right here. Old school trailblazing. Well, I'm not going to put it in order, but I'm going to let you listen to what I'm saying about a trail of standards. Now, even if the fix was in or it's not, remember I was telling you in the last video about all these coincidence this, coincidence that, and we could add it up and think it's a conspiracy, but there was a trail left with all those coincidences. Whether you think it's a coincidence or not, there's no excuses. Remember what I said in one of my videos about, let's use the example of Manny Pacquiao. When Manny Pacquiao lost, no one want to hear no excuses, including me. I don't want to hear no excuses. But, you know, a lot of people's like, I don't want to hear the excuse that he's old and this, you know, all these fucking go-go gadget motherfuckers, white Power Rangers, Spanish Power Rangers, and black Power Rangers, right? They don't want to hear no fucking excuses because they're against Manny, right? And he a foreign. He ain't fucking from America, right? So they don't want to hear no excuses. But wait, hold up. But when Manny Pacquiao beats their opponent that they like, well, this is the kind of excuses they come up with. Oh, my opponent was old. Yo, what's up, yo? He went up a division. He put on weight, or he lost weight. You know, all these things. You know, they come with all these excuses why Manny Pacquiao beat him, but they can't accept that Warriors, when they come in the ring, no matter what it is on either side, they Warriors, and they're supposed to fight, win or lose, no matter what the decision and what's going on in their lives and shit. Once they step in that arena, it is what it is. But when Manny loses, no excuses. But when Manny beats the opponent, they got excuses for the opponent why they lost. So we're not playing these games here, right? I'm getting into more boxing. I like this, man. I'm getting into more, not just Manny, but I'm getting into all the other boxers and shit like that. Even though I watch everything, I don't talk everything, right? But now I'm seeing a lot of bullshit, man. And I'm going to look at what standards that Manny Pacquiao left in all these coincidences. One of them is, he didn't fight for 2 years, and he came back, and his intentions was to fight ERROL Spence. Let me say it again. His intentions was to fight ERROL Spence, but the coincidence is that ERROL Spence had eye issues. Now, that's on you. I'm not here to influence you. If you believe that happened or you don't believe it happened, I'm not here to push that agenda right now. Not in this video, right? But it just so happened that another coincidence happened. The same day that Manny Pacquiao was talking about he's going to announce his presidentry, not his retirement. That's the same day that ERROL Spence came out and said, I'm better. My eye is better. All right? Now, what if his eye is better? Maybe he meant to say that he could train better, right? You could do strenuous things, right? Because we know that a detached retina, it takes a while for it, you know. But I guess he's back. He don't got no blood clot in his eye. Whatever this shit, you know, whatever. I don't want to talk about it no more, right? So, there's standards to be set. So one of them is that 2 years off, he came back and he fought a champion, which he wanted to fight ERROL Spence, a southpaw, but guess what? After 2 years, his intentions of fighting ERROL Spence, he ended up fighting UGAS. And UGAS was an orthodox fighter. He took it in 2 weeks' notice. He said, listen, I'm used to fighting orthodox fighters, blah, blah, blah. He's not going to make any excuses. He's going to do his best, and he's going to fight UGAS. Fine. Right? You know, it's so funny. Damn, I wish I kept that comment. The comment this dude said, he said, listen, you know, you've been training all your life, or you've been planning to do certain things, and then the next thing you know is a switcheroo. Even though you know that you could do it, it's a switcheroo, and your mind is set. You're having a habit, because humans are having habits. Regardless what it is, humans have habits. And once they set a goal to do this, and they end up doing that, oh, good example. This guy gave me a comment. He said, you know, when the year changed, right? This is a good example. I gotta look for this guy's comment. Maybe I'll do that and put it up. But he says, you know, when the year changed from 20 to 21, well, when you're ready to write down on a piece of paper, the year, sometimes you still write 2020 instead of writing 21. We are humans, have habits. Naturally, we have habits, and sometimes even from year to year, it's hard to break. So that was a good example that one of these dudes gave me a comment about from 20 to 21, and you're still writing 2020 when the year is 2021 and shit like that, right? We're our habits, we're nature. That's our habits, right? But back to what Manny Pacquiao left a trail of through all these coincidences. Well, he left a trail of fighting 2 years. Then he fought UGAS in a 2-week notice. See how shit revolves around? Remember when he first started, he had a 2-week notice to fight Luaba? See how shit rotates around sometimes? But we still don't know that Manny retired, right? It's like he left on the, he started on that note with Luaba for 2 weeks, and then he ended it, but we're not sure if he ended it. Yes, I saw the interview. I didn't mention it in that because it's not a full announcement. It's not on his, Instagram, his Twitter. It's not an announcement to say, listen, I retired. He said one thing. I'm done with boxing. I don't, but hey, once it's announced that he officially retired, then it's understandable what he's doing, right? It's very easy to have an interview and say, I'm done with boxing and this and that, but not actually write down the paper, write down the paperwork. The boxing license is retired, it's done with, all that stuff. So for now, he's talking one way, like other people do. They talk out one side of the neck and they do in the other. Well, that's how it is right now. We don't know, okay? Right now, it just sounds like everybody's jumping on that because they want to jump on that he's retiring. So let's done with that. I'm not with that no more. I did the retirement shit and how y'all want to bust a freaking nut so hard. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Everybody. So, he left also that he took a 2-week notice and 2 years, right? He left so many standards, right? That ERROL Spence and UGAS and Bud Crawford, they need to take these standards and live up to it. 2-week notice, 2 years you've been off, and you went straight into a champion fight when the intentions to fight ERROL Spence, but still fought UGAS. That they took your belt to give to UGAS because they say you was inactive, right? But these are standards that I want to accept. So when I hear all these dudes out here talking about mandatories, because now I'm hearing this. If you listen to these channels, I'm starting to hear about mandatories. Always got a mandatory. ERROL Spence, he got an IB of mandatory, right? And they're going down the ranks and they see this guy's name and they're saying it is mandatories. No, dude, there's nothing wrong with ERROL Spence, right? ERROL Spence, if I could, well, I'm going to let you listen to this part right here, because this is what Blu-rays say. This is what Blu-rays say. And his word is born, because he's there training with ERROL Spence. So,
it's been, getting that conditioning back to my level of strength and conditioning has been a process. You know what I mean? But he's been consistent. So he's looking good. He's strong. We've got him back to a lot of the stuff that he used to do from when he stopped. And that was my main focus, is to see how we can get back to what we used to be. He's older now, so the recovery time is a little different. So you have to be cognizant of that. And I found that out the other day. So we just easing back to the process and regimen of how, what we used to do. So once he gets more conditioned, to my level of fitness, then, we can add more days, and, it won't be any recovery time in between.
How fast have he been? Have he already gotten back to where he was before, or is he still going to take? Is it going to take more time? You think?
Nah, he already back.
How long did it take him to do that?
His strength is up. It took like 2 months, and we were doing like 1 or 2 days a week, because you already know, he got to spar, he got to run, he work out with Derek. So with you got to think about everything his body has to go through, and then adding back what I do, because what I do alone and the volume output that we put out is anyway. So it's just been a process, but everything is fine. He's strong as hell. He's looking good, man. I think he's finna do the food this fight.
I gotta ask you: have the accident? You was with him before the accident in his prime, at the best of him. Has the accident in any way, shape, form, or fashion took anything away from him as far as you just seeing him and his physical abilities?
Not one thing.
Really?
I don't see. It's like, in my opinion, it's like he never had a ring for what I see.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy. CC, you got something for Blu-ray before I go on?
After seeing the video, a Blu-ray saying, he's perfectly fine, right? He's back. He should be back. And anybody that's going to be a Sour Patch Pussy Boy, right? You want me a Sour Patch Pussy Boy and say anything about his eye, if he wins or he gets defeated, right? And they say, well, he didn't win because of this and that. There's no this and that no more. That's the standard that Manny Pacquiao left. Because remember, y'all didn't want to hear anything about excuses. So we ain't talking about excuses. You see how it's working now? You see how I'm working now, right? So the standards are high. Let's work with these standards that Manny Pacquiao left for us. 2 years, 2 weeks notice. What over trumps mandatory? Unification, undisputed, on our way, right? So now I hear a thing about Blue Blood. Let's look at this video about Blue Blood.
Alluding to the fact that they feel Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford are nervous and scared to take a loss, and it has nothing to do with that, okay? And so they continue to, push the narrative that it's okay to take a loss. The greatest fighters in history have losses. You can bounce back. Leonard had already lost to to Duran. Then Hearns lost to Leonard, but he still went to have big fights with Marvin Hagler and Roberto Duran, so on and so forth, okay? And so did Sugar Ray Leonard. But that's not the case. And see, because they're not well versed of what's taking place in the sport of boxing currently, right? That's how it looks to the casual boxing fan, okay? It looks as if these guys are just simply avoiding each other because they're avoiding taking a loss. And that's not the case. It's the business of the sport of boxing, and it's the fact that you have a guy who's with Top Rank, legendary promoter, Top Rank CEO and promoter, Bob Arum, and he's with ESPN, which is ironic because these guys deal with ESPN. They should know the backstory of what's taking place, but they don't, okay? And then you have another guy who, ironically, is with Fox, and that's Errol Spence Jr., with PBC, Premier Boxing Champions, founder and advisor Al Heyman. So you have Chris Broussard with Fox, and you have Stephen A. Smith with ESPN, and yet neither one of them have any interest in doing their due diligence and their research. Neither guy is well versed or educated about what's taking place behind the scenes, and they're pushing the narrative that Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence are afraid to fight one another because they don't want to take a loss, and that's simply not the case at all whatsoever. So this just lets you know where the sport of boxing stands currently when you have two major platforms with two major journalists that have no clue what's taking place behind the scenes, but they're pushing the narrative about the sport, and the sport of boxing, I agree, is hurting itself. Now, the business, Terrence Crawford doesn't want to take accountability, in my opinion.
All right, so now I had to stop it right there because Blue Blood was going into why is Terrence Crawford taking the blame, and that's your opinion. I don't want to hear about your opinion. I'm just hearing about the networks and what and the people that saying, well, the reason why, you know what, with the zero, I'm gonna leave that for another video. And this video that I'm about to do, it's gonna fuck me right now. I'm thinking about it. It's making me curse. All right, because it's irritating the shit out of me. It's really right now. It's irritating. So let me just calm down because I didn't eat and I'm shaking and usually after I work out I get hungry. I get fucking hungry and I start to shake if I don't eat because I'm just fucking hungry. Okay, so let me just calm myself down. Let me not curse, right? And let's just keep this shit friendly. But the next video is gonna irritate the shit out of me while I do it, right? So with this zero shit, right? So there's some standards. And I want these young lions that if a 42-year-old man could do this, you could do it. And if anybody's talking about, if any of these channels, listen to these channels talking about mandatories, you know the fix is in. Because these channels, they love to talk about the next fight. Like you see how Terrence Crawford, he had to prove himself for Sean Porter. Now after that, I'm done. I don't want to hear nothing about Errol Spence coming back to fight a mandatory, or August got a mandatory and he have to do this mandatory, because we all know the basic rule. unification, undisputed, but unification over Trump's mandatory. Okay, because come on, Ugas had his little voluntary fight defending his belt that they stripped to give to Manny. He defended his belt against Manny Pacquiao already. He defended it, yes. So now they're talking about mandatory, but guess what? There shouldn't be no mandatory, and there shouldn't be nothing about no networks right now, because right now, when ERROL Spence come back, the only person he should be fighting is two people. Bud Crawford, and if the networks can't get it together, or if this and that and they can't get it together, this fight ain't no fucking Mayweather, and it ain't no Manny Pacquiao fight, and it's not gonna accelerate the money growth that's going on. This fight ain't like this, because like I said, I could go here and ask who the hell is Bud Crawford. They won't know who the hell Bud Crawford is, and I could go there and ask who ERROL Spence is. They're not on that Mayweather Pacquiao level. So if they're not gonna get it together, I'm not gonna blame Bud, and I'm not gonna blame ERROL. Because guess what? We'll get it together, right? Because I also heard a channel talking about why should he fight this one and that one when he could clean up this side of the street and then make the super fight with Crawford. I heard all this fuckery, right? All this shit, right? Why he have to go straight into a Crawford fight? He should fight this one now. Well, guess what? Ugas on the same side of the street as you, young blood. Yeah, he on the same side of the street. And he got a belt. And it's fucking strap season. It's fucking... Let me spit... Let me spit on you. Let me wipe it off. So I can spit on your fucking cunt again. Because these motherfucking channels is full of shit. And I'm telling you right now, I don't want to hear no fucking biscuit talk. I don't want to hear no cotton candy talk, nigga. Get the wax out your ear and listen to me. One thing that makes sense is that what over Trump's mandatory, that analysis matters. That's all that matters. And that's all I care about. ERROL Spence will come back and fight a champion. If he don't do that, and these channels is babysitting the Sour Patch shit about a mandatory and promoting this mandatory shit, they prolonging shit and to fix it in with these channels also. Just letting you know, man. Just letting you know. I ain't feeling this bullshit, man. And Manny Pacquiao, whether he's still here or he gone, he left standards, live up to it. Because right now, you can't copy his style. You can't copy the footprints that he left for you to do. And it's a fucking strike. Basically, it's a motherfucking strike. If you can't do what, if you can't copy what Manny Pacquiao's doing, it's a fucking copyright strike. It's over, my dude. I'm done. I don't want to hear this shit. So watch, we're going to have all these new things stop unification on the same strike with UGAS. Listen, man, if ERROL Spence takes that fight with UGAS, I'm happy. I'm good. Win or lose, that's all I want to see. Either he wins, UGAS loses, or UGAS wins. It doesn't matter. Because like I said in my book, losing is not a big deal like these fucking fairy tale cunt, mother cunt twat motherfucking talking about if you lose, this and that. I don't want to hear it no more, man. So I'm done. I don't want to curse no more. I'm hungry. My belly is empty. I worked out. I'm done. All right? I'm fucking done. To the next, I'm not here for you to change your mind. I'm here for you to read between your lines. I can't stand that fucking thing I keep saying over and over again. I got to find a new slogan. I'm getting tired of it. But that's what the fuck it is. Read between the lines. Undisputed or unifying over Trump's mandatory. That's it. I don't want to I don't want to hear that shit, my dude. I don't want to hear that. Because Manny, 2 years off, came back to fight a champion. What you're saying in the fucking comments, shut the fuck up.